it helps San Francisco.
That's right, so our map set presented by Toyota. We're gonna begin things on Busan for control. I mean, we did see that kill on Shu earlier with that fire strike. That's what happens when your backline takes damage, and that's what happens when your whole team takes damage. Grab gets used, and Shock absolutely wrecked the charge.
As I clean up this fight, though, let's talk a little bit about the San Francisco Shock.
Over to the Winston now.
Oh, man.
Sinatra's already scoping things out. That's a big EMP from Sinatra. Where's the follow-up from the Shock, though?
Hoppa got the Graviton off.
Yeah, that's right. Graviton did happen, so Charge didn't lose anyone immediately. Now the fight becomes a bit more protracted. So Sinatra not quite setting up the EMP that his team could use.
Now they need to spam for support ults right now. That's what Shock are waiting for before they engage.
All right, Rio goes for a shatter, doesn't get anybody with that one. Wall's coming up and helping out a little bit there. Violet with the Transcendence, trying to keep his team alive. They do get the kill onto Shu. Super finishes one off there. Rio did get stunned there for a second. Eileen comes in to try to save the day with the EMP, and Charge striking back with a few kills of their own. Choyobin does go down. Super stunned. He's got his ultimate, but he can't use it. Taken out before he can pop the Primal Ray. 90% themselves. Sinatra used his EMP, hacked 3 members of the charge. Choyobin does get the kill into Happy, though, so Shock not really fazed by this one yet. Super, meanwhile, helping Choyobin zone more members of the charge out, and now the flip is going to come back in for the San Francisco Shock. And as we're in overtime, Charge is going to have to fight this one really short-handed. Eileen coming up pretty close to the EMP. If he can build it, maybe they got a chance, but no. Shoot down already. Violet jetting in with the Transcendence to try to keep everybody alive, and Shock just keeping everyone off the point. Maybe with the sound barrier now, Charge can come back in. There's the EMP. Rio drops a shatter, drops Moth and Rascal. Can they get the kills though? They've got the grab, they've got Super as well. Charge making a fight out of this. Shock having to scramble to try to stay in this one, on the verge of winning this map. They did flip the point back, but can they win the fight? Oh, that was so close. Charge trying to get people on there, but it looks like Shock will take it in the end. Got a little bit dicey towards the end of that round, but Shock will take the first map.
I mean, Guangzhou Charge did a great job of at least holding
89% already. Then they tighten things up. But if they would have been able to do that a little bit, you can put out a ton of healing, actually, if you're near the Batiste. Rio getting really low. Ooh, they had to use the Transcendence to save him. And now they're going to get aggressive. Going to be the Transcendence from the Shock side as well. There's a grab from Happy. Can they follow it up with some kills? Maybe. But they need to burn through the sound barrier from Moth. Now San Francisco on the attack again, but it's going to be the sound barrier from the Charge as well. Another Amp Matrix already built up by Rascal. He's so fast at that. Violet with the double kill, but Hotfa comes back with one onto the kill E, or the kill-er, whatever you want to say. Meanwhile, Shock losing people left and right. It looks like Charge will be able to hold. That got halfway through to an Earth Shatter. They got to keep him healed up, though. Taking a ton of damage. Ooh, that was a close one. Rally used by Rascal to try to keep everybody healed up with the armor. Now Violet Force using Transcendence as well. Hotba, nothing with that self-destruct, but Rio does get the charge kill onto Super. So another advantage for Guangzhou. Rio waiting for it. He's got that shatter, used it to try to counter, but now the kills come in for the Shock. They've got a few, but have they lost too many people to keep this push? Maybe not so much. Rio in a lot of trouble, finally taken down. And it's pretty much just Hotba trying to resist on the point, but he's gonna have to take a trip back to spawn for the moment. Shock so close to finishing off B, and they'll find
Immortality Field does keep all the supports up from the Shock. Lots of ults though available.
Oh, grab gets used. They try to trap Happy in it. Meanwhile, Happy ready with his ultimate as well, trying to fire away at Super Shield. Killed out of that one. Here we go. Now the Dragon Strike comes in. Trying to go through that house. Violet down already. Hoppa finally finds the kill. Now Rio on the point with the minefield all laid out. And Shock's gonna have a really tough time kind of holding this one. So many people going down here. And that is going to be the end of point A, I believe.
Guess who escaped that? He was, gets demech. He was at very low HP outside, and now grab comes in. Charge.
That's a problem. Violet tries to keep people up with the Transcendence, manages to just barely keep everyone on their feet. Choyobin's still alive, but not in the back right now, in the back lines. Rio pushing forward. They dodge the shatter from Super there. Now the shatter comes in. Rascal eliminated early. There goes Violet. Happy down as well, but the advantage to the Guangzhou Charge at the moment. Maybe Shock can push back a little bit with this sound barrier. Shu's got the Transcendence. Super in a lot of trouble. There's not enough healing on him. The respawns coming in for Shock.
Graviton.
Charge. They need to stay alive through this one. They lost Kib, but for the most part, they're still doing okay.
Sinatra on the point now, trying to get that damage on the
Sinatra
barrier.
he finally
First
died.
death of the match, and that's going to be in the Guangzhou charge.
Damage, already nearly finishing the map. Are the Shock, they're so close to just getting that one tick. There goes the Immortality Field. Now Transcendence used by Charge to try to stay in it. Super turning around, gets a decent Earth Shatter. Shu knocked down. They just need to force the Charge off the point for just a little bit.
Sinatra has grab.
That's right, and he's going to use it, catching a lot of members in Charge, and that means they can't get to the point. Shock takes it, they get that first tick, and they get the 2-0 lead.
I mean, I do wonder if it's a little bit too telegraphed, even though we saw Kib playing a kill, though, on the side of the Charge.
The barrage, and he's going to unload it all over the Shock. Super and Violet down already. Man, you don't expect a bar to have the barrage.
Ready for use, EMP into Minefield, probably going to come out.
And a boost, perhaps. Not used yet by Shu. Super down early. They could probably save a few more ultimates with that main tank out of the way. It's going to be the rally, though, from Rascal. Actually, Shock pushing forward to the sound barrier as well. They're not going to give up on this one. They're going to jump onto Shu and get that kill anyway. You just cannot assume a fight is over with the Shock, man. They lose their main tank, and then they're just going to come right back. Looks like Rascal's going to pay for it in the end, but while all this is going on, the payload is still moving, by the way, and that's the important thing.
I mean,
Have to get in there anyway, though. Time to push forward. EMP comes in on a Shock, hits 4 people. Rio tries to go for the Shatter. He does knock down Super and Sinatra. A lot of damage eliminated, but there's the grab coming in. Sound barrier for Shock to try to stay alive in the fight. All the ultimates being used here. Shock a little bit separated, but Charge having trouble pushing forward. They've done enough damage, though, to put pressure onto Shock. Maybe with this grab from Sinatra, they can turn around, but there's a sound barrier immediately from Lucio on the Charge side. They keep everybody up for now, but here comes Super with the Shatter. Hot put down, the Zarya out of the way. That might be what Shock needs, but it's going back and forth. It's a brawl now here in overtime. The payload still has a long way to move, even if the Guangzhou Charge do win the fight. Oh, but Shu getting taken out. Sinatra going support hunting now, and there's very little to stop him. That's going to be about it. Shock holds on. They will win Eichenwald, and they will win this series 3-0. One map yet to play, but Shock locks it up.
and it's a rough time to be the Charge. In their last 4 matches, including this one, they are now 1-14 in map score. So the drought continues for Guangzhou.
Way at least with 1 map win in this series. Before this, I wonder how long they'll stick with this. I feel like we've been seeing teams stick with this longer. Oh, the halt brings everybody from Charge down. Right where Shock wants him, right in front of the amplification matrix, which Violet is shooting through it the whole hog. Sinatra, the first one to find a kill though, as Charge is scattered. Another configuration tank, he got that so fast.
Called the whole hog, but with the amp matrix.
Look at them, they've got like a sliver of health left. As a Roadhog player myself a lot, I hate that. But some of those guys are so tiny, you know? Mercy, Lucio, it's hard to land everything. Here we go. The payload nearly there for Shock. Jobin pops a self-destructive. Sinatra up on the high ground. Nobody's doing anything about this guy, just firing through the amplification matrix.
Okay.
That is not a matrix you want to enter if you're the Charge. Dunker down. Could be something. Sinatra coming in, he's got the grab ready to go. Happy just trying to find some more victims with the Bastion. Anyone get shattered there? A couple. Happy though, really low immortality field, keeping him alive.
Gone now.
Super trying to push in. And it looks like even though he'll die, they'll get the kills. Rascal taken out by the tire. Kib gets 1 there. But
it is a 3 versus 3 right now, and just Sinatra and 2 supports. So Sinatra has to provide the overwhelming majority of the damage. Super gonna make it back.
Shock pretty well, actually. Keeping them in this one. Overtime. Definitely gonna drop fast if Charge gets pushed off of it. Moth down, but Kib taken out as well. There's the grab. Sinatra finally got it. Hot, but D-Mac, there goes Happy as well. And I can't believe it. Shock able to sustain long enough to get a couple ultimates and end it. 4-0 for San Francisco Shock. Absolute domination.
Yeah.